So do you feel like the hype is dying down, like at all?
I feel like the new release hype, Jordan Brand and Nike killed the whole resale market from when the shoes used to be like 160 to 170. Now that they're 190 or 200 in that range, they killed that whole middleman of that person buying the shoes for say 160, 170, flipping them for like 200 and then reselling them for like 230. So that whole little middleman thing kind of killed the hype of the shoes. Now that's why a lot of these shoes still sit on shelves. Like you could still go to stores and get those Marvin the Martian 7s that just dropped. And there's countless other pairs of shoes that release that you could get after. Especially if it's something that's people want, like the red 3 Lab 4s. It was a red shoe. And you know, that whole red hype with the Yeezys and everything else. So that's a shoe where, you know, like this shoe sold out. You know, it sold out. I mean, they charged you $250 for it, but they cut out that middleman. They figured, okay, resale market, they're gonna sell these for $250.
Yeah.
So why can't we sell for $250 and make that money? I mean, do you think it really cost them more money to make this shoe?
No.
No. It doesn't cost you more money.
It's more patent leather.
Just more patent, I mean, but still, did it really cost you that? What, maybe 50 cents more, $1 more? But you charge $60 more than it would be at the 190 or the 170? A lot of those shoes, I mean, honestly, you know, for instance, this shoe.
Because you get that.
Clean colorway, you know, white metallic, released in 2000, they brought it back. You'd figure, okay, people would be hype about this.
Still copping.
People still copping. You could get this for a cheap price. And you would think that a shoe like this would be perfect for the summer and people would, you know, want this shoe and will pay money for it. It's not like, honestly, it's a hit or miss thing.
Yeah.
It really is hit or miss, just depending on the hype like that. I mean, you could see, you know, we have certain spikes, like Spizikes. They don't sell at all. You know, these shoes, some of these shoes have been here since the day we opened. They're just taking up shelf space. Honestly, I've told them before, like, I'd rather not even have the shoes, give them back to the people.
Yeah.
They're just taking up, but it's good to have them. I mean, same thing, 6 Rings, Sun of Mars, that stuff don't sell.
People don't want that.
No, people don't want that.
So, what do you think is gonna happen with like these collabs? Like, you know, you got the Supreme, the 5s, and the ones that, you know, that they don't have a release.
They're gonna sell because of the hype.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I saw a funny picture with those white metallics, and besides like the red and the thing saying Supreme, and the 94, what's really the difference in the colorway of the shoe? A little bit of red, a 94 on it. It's no difference, but that Supreme shoe is gonna sell for 500, and you could barely get 200 for that shoe. That's just the way it works. I mean, those ones look pretty interesting. That just say Supreme on the check. That's a pretty interesting thing.
The quality looks good.
It almost reminds me of back in the day when people used to put like the Gucci print on the checks or the Louis print on the check.
Yeah, I remember that.
For like the Air Force Ones and stuff.
And on the toe.
And it kind of reminds me of that type of thing with just on the check like that with the Supreme, like just their sort of thing. Like, but again, I mean, all those shoes are gonna sell just because it has Supreme attached to it.
Do you feel like they deserve that hype though? Like, are they
They
worth?
put in work. Supreme's been
worth
around, what, 10 years? 12 years now?
Yeah, a minute.
So, I mean, they put in their work, they deserve it. I mean, I like what Concepts is doing with a lot of their stuff. Those stained glass dunks were dope. So it's really about the collab. It's about the hype that the shoe gets. And it's also about the colorways. I mean, you gotta figure that a lot of these colorways, you know, like 28s, 29s, those shoes don't sell. Like, you know, no one wants those shoes. Unless you really want to use them for basketball.
Yeah. It's what they're made for too.
That's what they're made for. But I'm just saying, like in terms of like aesthetic wise, they're not really whatever. The Jordan 1 through I'd say 14, it's timeless.
Yeah.
People always want those shoes, want those models. And that's what sells.
You got some 14s too, what?
Yeah, I mean we keep a lot of the 14s, white and red ones, the Thunder ones that came out, the white and the yellow. Girls one, last shots. I mean, we have a good variety of every model number. Sometimes there's more model numbers than other ones. Sometimes we have every colorway of the 8s. Right now, we don't. You know, we usually have the playoffs here, like all the different sizes, different years. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It's a resale game. You know, it's one of those things where every day it changes.
Yeah.
Like you asked about that shoe that we posted up that was $200. You said, oh, that was a steal. That sold that day. On to the next shoe.
What are your thoughts about the 7210 pair?
I like and that's usually not like, usually like we were talking about before, like when they take a certain shoe and do some other wild off-brand type shit to it, I usually don't like it, but those are fucking fire.
Pretty much this is, you know, our wall of sneakers that we have either on consignment or shoes that we've personally bought for the store to sell. You know, we're not like other stores where, you know, you put, say like, this Cigar 6